Hello everyone, welcome to the Tathastu. My name is Khushbu and in this class we are going to cover the current affairs of 18th of August but through MCQs. Let's get started with today's class. But before this, what we are supposed to do? Check out a little bit of information related to our courses. The registration for these courses, that is BA, MA, diploma plus UPSC preparation, or if you want to take admission only in UPSC preparation, then you can do that as well. You can enroll in our freedom batch and as well as in our NCRT batch also, and information related to all these courses are available on our website, that is tathastuics.com, or you can call on these numbers as well in order to get the information, or you can even visit our office over there in the ORN. So let's get started now with the very first question of the day, and it is related to Chandrayaan 3. So, which of the following are the objectives of recently launched Chandrayaan 3 mission? The very first one is to showcase a secure and gentle touchdown on the lunar terrain. This is actually the target or not. Okay, so now the second is to illustrate the movement of a rover across the lunar surface. Third statement says to execute scientific experiments directly on the moon's location. You have to find out that which of these are correct based on the statements above related to Chandrayaan 3. So here the answer is option C, that is all of these statements are correct over here related to Chandrayaan 3 mission. So there has been recent updates related to Chandrayaan 3, that is why this question has been framed. So Chandrayaan 3 lander separates from propulsion module ahead of soft landing. Okay, now the recent development is that the Chandrayaan related to this Chandrayaan 3 mission is that the lander has been separated, okay, separated from the propulsion module over here. The Chandrayaan 3 spacecraft had successfully detached from the propulsion module, and this separation has taken place in preparation for the planned gentle landing, which is scheduled for the August 23, and fingers are crossed. We hope that it will be successful, and yes, it will be. Yeah, so a crucial step has been achieved as the lander module encompassing both the lander named Vikram and the rover named Pragyan. Here please do remember, in the Chandrayaan 3 class, in one of our videos, I had explained everything related to Chandrayaan 3, that what all objects, whatever has been attached to, whatever machines has been attached to Chandrayaan 3, what is the purpose of that, everything I had explained in really very detailed manner. There I had explained related to this Pragyan and Vikram also. So the lander name is Vikram over here and the rover name is Pragyan, and these are now being maneuvered into an orbit that will bring it even more closer to the lunar surface, that is the moon's surface. So all of us are aware of this thing, that this is Earth and this is moon, and this Chandrayaan 3 was supposed to enter into the orbit of the moon like this, and then finally it will land over there on the surface, that is the lunar surface. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Question number 2, consider the following statements with respect to National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, that is NCLAT. These are the following statements. You have to find out that which of these statements are correct over here. Okay, so the very first statement says, established according to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, this body operates as a legal entity with defined regulations. Second statement is that this organization is responsible for reviewing appeals lodged against rulings issued by the National Company Law Tribunal as well as the Competition Commission of India. So you have to find out that which of these statements are correct over here related to the NCLAT. So here the answer is option C. Okay, so both the statements given over here related to NCLAT are correct. So NCLAT 2 here IDBI's plea against Zee Entertainment on August 31. So this is what it is in news. So recently, an appeal actually was filed by IDBI Bank, and this has been done against Zee Entertainment to initiate the insolvency proceedings over here. Additionally, the NCLAT has granted permission to the lender to submit an extra affidavit within the span of a week, that it should be done. Otherwise, these are the kind of steps which we will be taking. So here everything is correct when it comes to the statement 1. NCLAT, it was established on June 1st, 2016 according to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. When it comes to this NCLAT, it is a quasi-judicial statutory body in India. Please do remember, quasi-judicial, it is not completely judicial, but it is. Second statement is also correct over here. Decisions made by NCLAT, this National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, in accordance with the section 61 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, it has been done, the decision. Rulings from the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India based on section 202 and section 211 of the IBC, that is the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, has been done over here. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Consider the following statements. The very first statement is, the Reserve Bank of India oversees and handles the administration of Government of India securities exclusively without any involvement in state government's securities. The second statement says that the Government of India is the sole issuer of treasury bills with no issuance of such bills by state governments. The third statement says that the treasury bill are made available at a value lower than their par value, presenting a discounted offer. Which of these statements are correct related to these statements? Here answer is option C, that is 2 and 3. Here the first statement is incorrect. When it comes to the state governments, RBI manages even the state government's debts also based on the distinct agreements which has been made. Here, an inflation rises and liquidity tightens, bond treasury bill yields rise sharply. That was in news. Now when it comes to the treasury bills are also known as the T-bills. Okay, T the initial of the treasury. So it is also known as T-bills, and these are short-term debt instruments in the money market which is being issued by the Government of India itself. Okay, now these bills are available in 3 durations. These are very important and very basic of the economics over here. So when it comes to the treasury bills, these are being issued in 3 durations only. The very first one is for 91 days, then comes the 182 days, and then next comes the 364 days. It's like the double, okay, multiply with the 2. Now notably, the state governments do not issue any kind of the treasury bills. Please do remember this thing. It is being done only by the Government of India, not by the state governments. Now, when it comes to the third statement, interest rates on the treasury bills are determined, and these are being determined on the basis of the market dynamics, and which is being done by the RBI. RBI auctions them periodically, and they are sold at a discount of to their face value. Question number 4, with reference to genome sequencing, consider the following statements. The very first statement says that the process entails reorganizing the DNA of an organism to generate novel genetic sequences. Second is metagenomics, a form of genome sequencing method, swiftly examines the genetic data of the virus without prior information about the infecting agent. Third is genome sequencing has enabled researchers to manage the Mpox virus. You have to find out that how many of these statements are correct over here related to the genome sequencing. Your answer is option B, only 2 statements are correct over here. Okay, now this was recently in news. We had read about this thing in our DNA as well. So genome sequencing, when it comes to this thing, it involves determining the sequence of DNA nucleotides, also known as the bases, within an organism's DNA structure. Metagenomics, a specific method of genome sequencing, swiftly examines the genetic data of a virus even when prior knowledge about the infecting agent is lacking over here, because even if you're not having information, but over the period of time you had been sequencing, you had been studying about that, so you have good number of information related to that thing. The process of genome sequencing has been instrumental in aiding scientists to manage the mpox virus over here. Now the next question, consider the following statements with respect to PM Vishwakarma scheme. Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma scheme, recently in DNA I had explained this thing in a very detailed manner. Now, what is the objective over here? The objective to enhance and foster the traditional skill set practiced within families by artisans and that of the craftsmen. Second statement says that this falls under the category of central sector schemes. Third statement is that the scheme was introduced during the announcement of 2023-24 budget. So you have to find out that how many of these statements are correct over here related to the Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma scheme. Here the answer is option C, all these statements are correct. Okay, when it comes to the Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma initiative, which was announced recently on 15th of August itself. So this was done, this has been done in order to promote the traditional skill sets. So the aim of this scheme, this initiative, is to strengthen and preserve the traditional skills practiced within families by artisans and craftsmen who work with manual tools and that of the techniques. The scheme also intends to enhance the quality and reach of products and services offered by the artisans while ensuring their integration in both domestic and as well as that of the global chains also, because under this particular initiative only the exports will also be pushed when it comes to the traditional all these kind of the artifacts and all. So they will be working on this this particular thing also, that how we could actually increase the exports of all these items. This program will grant recognition to the artisans and as well as the craftsmen also, and how it will be done through the certificate and the identification card. These will be provided to the people, the artisans and the craftsmen. They will be provided with the certificate and as well as the iCard also. Initial credit support of 1 lakh rupees, it will be transferred in two parts. Initially 1 lakh rupees will be given and then 2 lakh rupees will be given, and here the interest rate will be as low as that of the 5%. This is done in order to obviously help them grow. Now the next question is, consider the following statements with respect to Pradhan Mantri E-Bus Seva. This was also announced recently on 15th of August itself. So here the very first statement says that the initiative aims to encourage the adoption of electric mobility and enhance urban bus services. Second statement is the program will exclusively be put into action within the principal cities of the northeastern states over here. Third statement talks about the scheme is constructed upon the framework of public-private partnership model, that is PPP model. So here, how many of these statements are correct? So this is quite easy related to PM E-Bus Seva. Here the answer is option B. That is, the two statements are only correct, and here the second statement is incorrect. Okay, so recently this E-Bus Seva has been announced, but the problem which I see and many people see in this thing is that though obviously we are pushing towards electronic bus services or the e-vehicles, you can say, but when it comes to charging these, we are actually burning lots of coal to generate the electricity in order to charge these e-vehicles. So we have to work on this particular area as well, wherein we are supposed to generate electricity through the renewable kind of resources or any other stuff, but not the coal. Otherwise, our target of reducing the footprint, that is the carbon footprint, won't be realized until unless we are doing this thing. Okay, so recently, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, the cabinet approved the Pradhan Mantri E-Bus Seva program, which aims to enhance city bus services by introducing 10,000 buses through a public-private partnership model. The primary aim of this scheme, the primary aim is to encourage the adoption of electric mobility and strengthen city bus operations over here. Here it is actually done. The preference will be given to the cities who are lacking the organized kind of bus services. If we are not having any organized bus services, then in those cities, here those cities will be given preferences. Okay, the scheme will provide support for a decade to sustain bus operations. This is how they are planning the next 10 years, that how they will be doing this thing, and it is structured around the principles of public-private partnership model. Here, this particular scheme consists of two segments. One is segment A, another one is the segment B. Segment A focuses on enhancing city bus services in 169 cities. Segment A. When it comes to the segment B, it is known as Green Urban Mobility Initiatives, and it targets 181 cities over there. Okay, so this is something related to the PM E-Bus. Next question is related to PIBOT. That was recently seen in the news, is related to which of the following? The very first one is that it is an underwater vehicle that operates below the surface. Second is it is a pilot in the form of a humanoid. Third is it is an advanced spacecraft for the future. And the last one is it is a satellite designed for observing Earth. So these are the points related to the PIBOT. These are the options. You have to find out what is the correct one. Answer is B. Recently, a group of engineers and the researchers at the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology are currently developing a humanoid robot which has been named as the PIBOT, and here you can see. Okay, so meet PIBOT, the humanoid robot that can safely pilot an airplane better than that of the human. This is what we are focusing on, that this will be doing this thing. But let's see how much it, whether it would be actually capable enough in order to replace a human. Well, PIBOT holds the distinction of being the world's first humanoid pilot. This is the first humanoid pilot. Now, the last question of the day, consider the following statements related to Mudumalai Tiger Reserve. Recently, we covered this thing in our DNA. Okay, the very first statement is that it constitutes a component of the Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. Second is, within this area, there exists a presence of towering grasses, often recognized as elephant grass. Third is, situated within the confines of the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, the Theppakadu Elephant Camp is situated. Now you have to choose your answer. Answer over here is option D. Here you were supposed to choose the incorrect one. None of these statements are incorrect. All of these are correct. So recently it was in news. Why? Because 2 tiger cubs were found dead at the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve in the Nilgiris. Okay, Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, and that too in the Nilgiris. So here the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, where it is, you can see obviously it is there in the Nilgiris, and that of the Tamil Nadu, which is of the area of 321 square kilometers. Here this reserve is positioned at the convergence point of 3 states, that is the Karnataka, Kerala and the Tamil Nadu. 3 states. At that particular point, this reserve is there, Mudumalai. Now, it encompasses the northeastern and northwest slopes of the Nilgiri Hills, which are the part of the Western Ghat. Okay, and the reserve is a vital component of the Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve, India's first biosphere reserve. So, Nilgiri was the first biosphere reserve of India. So, here now when it comes to the Mudumalai, why it has been termed as the Mudumalai. So, Mudumalai actually translates to the ancient hill range. Okay, so ancient hill range, that is the Mudumalai. It signifies its existence for over 65 million years during the emergence of the Western Ghats. So that is the reason why it is called as the Mudumalai, ancient 65 million years. That is the reason. The landscape is characterized by undulating terrain with heights varying from 960 meters to 1266 meters. When it comes to the heights of the terrains, okay. Now, the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, it encompasses a diverse range of habitats wherein you would be able to find the tropical evergreen forests, moist deciduous forests, moist teak forests, dry teak forests, secondary grasslands, and that of the swamps also. You can find all of these. When it comes to the flora, it is very much rich in that, and the one part is the elephant grass, and a question was asked on the basis of this in the UPSC prelims. And that was related to the elephant grass itself. Towering bamboo species, you can find it over there, bamboo species, and valuable timbers like that of the teak and the rosewood. So these are the floras which you can find over there, and apart from these you can find the wild rice, ginger, turmeric and cinnamon also. When it comes to the fauna, obviously you have seen the tiger and the elephant word just now only. So obviously the tigers and elephants, you can find it over there. Indian gores, panthers also, various deer species, common langurs, Malabar giant squirrels and hyenas. So these are the faunas which you can find it over there in the Mudumalai terrain, Mudumalai. Now there is one movie which has been based on this particular site only, and that is the Elephant Whispers, which even was awarded with the Oscar. So you can obviously find out that this place is actually really very special, okay, and this holds really very much of importance when it comes to the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve. Okay, so this was it related to our daily current affairs MCQs. I hope you people really enjoyed it. When it comes to the PDF, you can find it over there on the Telegram channel, current affairs Telegram channel of Tathastu itself. You can find the PDF over there. And apart from that, when it comes to the why only in English, because this has been decided by the management that we will be doing the classes over there, the videos in the English itself, because this channel belongs to that. And when it comes to the Hindi one, the Hindi channel is there in order to get the explanation, in order to provide the explanation in complete Hindi. So see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care and have a great time.